Now, I had the pleasure of interviewing this sought after pediatrician, Dr. Candice Jones. Dr. Jones, thank you for being here with me today. It is a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me to do this. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, yes. No, you are an amazing doctor. Now, how did you get the passion to go into your medical field?
I had a wonderful example in my mother and my grandmother, strong Black women around me who got an education, got their degrees, and went for what they wanted. So my mom was an obstetrics nurse growing up, and I can remember as early as 5 years of age, just really honing in and asking her about what she was doing at the hospital, and her telling me about helping to birth babies and the doctors and the staff. And I wanted to go see the babies, and I wanted to see the doctor. And so I just took a natural interest into the field of medicine. And then I've always loved from there. I loved science and everything within that field. So it was a natural fit for me to go into medicine. And I declared at the age of 5 that I would be a physician. And thank God that I was able to, reach my goals and have that dream come true.
Oh, that is an amazing example. You said science. I was like, ugh, science.
Oh,
But
yeah.
oh yeah, to have a mom and you said a woman of color, have you experienced any challenges being a woman and of color in the field?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly, I think we all have. Any Black woman in any
Mhm.
profession in this country has experienced all kinds of isms, right?
Right,
Sexism, racism, all of
right.
these things. So certainly I have to. But you know what? Again, back to my roots, back to my family. They prepared me for those
Mhm.
things. I remember growing up marching and hearing about Dr. Martin Luther King and all of our activists. We were very much an active family in the struggle, and so I was prepared for those things, and
Uh-huh.
I have been able to handle them professionally and recognize them when they come my
Right.
way, and overcome them and not let them hold me back. So I think that preparation is
Mhm.
key, and preparing your children for those types of things to come, not harping on the negative, but just recognizing it when they're seeing it, and how to handle it in a positive way is so important.
Yes, it is. No, you are a woman of faith as well. I mean, that's how we met at a church. I was visiting a church. How do you use your faith in your profession?
Absolutely. I use my faith. And speaking of challenges in life, my faith in God is what helps me to overcome, any challenges,
Mhm.
whether it's racism, whether it was the difficulties of getting into medical school, taking the MCAT, passing the coursework, just
Right.
all of those hurdles I had to jump. My faith in God helped me through that. I remember times when I was struggling. My mother, again, she has these mountain moving prayers, and I can call
Right.
her if it's 2 in the morning or 12 in the midday
Uh-huh.
and say, I need you. I need one of those prayers. And after she's done, I'm okay. And I go in and handle whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, the song says, I've got confidence, so much confidence in you, God. So that gives
Okay.
me confidence because I know He's got my back. He leads me, He guides me, He protects me. And after that, I just need to take the steps that He's laid before me.
Yes. First, I thought you was gonna start singing a song
I
for us,
love that
Dr.
song.
Jones.
I've got confidence.
All right now. Sounds like another profession too. Woo, woo,
Love that
singing.
song.
Okay, okay. Now you have an awesome podcast as well. Can you tell the viewers about your podcast?
Yes, my podcast is Kidding Around with Dr. Candice, and it's KID because it's all about the kids.
Yes.
It is a kid health podcast for parents and any caregiver, anyone who works with kids. And it's all about them being happy, healthy, and whole. And
Mhm.
so we talk about everything under the realm of children's health. I talk with experts in the field of children's health, and we just try to answer questions that parents and grandparents and coaches and teachers have about kids. It could be health problems, it could be behavior, it could be mental health, it could just be every day, how do I get my kids to be more organized? We talk about everything. And if you have something that you want me to talk about, please send that to me. I love taking your needs and turning them into topics. That helps me out a lot.
Oh, yes. And you've done some that I love. It was how to travel safe with kids during the pandemic. Whew.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes. That was a good one, especially during these times,
yes,
right?
yes. And then you did another one on mental health concerns in the youth during the pandemic. So, what would you say is the top concern for
Yes.
parents?
Yeah, I think that there was a survey, a study done in 2019, I think it was, and young people actually reported their mental health concerns about themselves. And I
Right.
think that's where we have to start. Because sometimes as a parent, we have an idea what's going on with our kids or kids as a whole, but we're missing the mark. Like we're just
Mhm.
clueless. And so youth identified in this survey that their top concerns about themselves were things like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and bullying. And
Mhm.
so those are some of those top concerns that we talked about in that episode with
Mhm.
a licensed social worker, mental health professional, a friend of mine from Alabama. And she's so positive. And she gave parents wonderful tips on how to not only recognize these things in their kids, but to connect with their kids and have relationships so they can come to you. And then what steps to take if you're seeing these things, especially now during this pandemic, because this was prior to the pandemic, but now we know it has exponentially spiked with our kids. In my clinic alone, I'm seeing children who are attempting suicide, who are thinking about suicide, and who are really struggling. So parents really need to be aware of that.
That's some good stuff right there. I hope every parent, guardian, aunt, uncle, grandparent can watch that. Now, that's episode 82. So, how can they watch the podcast or listen to it? And then you're awesome with bookings and your website. How can they reach you?
Oh, thank you for that. So if you go to my website, drcandicemd.com, drcandicemd.com, everything can be accessed there. Up in the right-hand corner, you can go to all my social media pages. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts from there. You can book me. You can email me. My blog, all of the information that I put out, you can access from my website. And I would surely appreciate if you would hit Let's Keep in Touch and just put your first name and email in there. And that way you'll get fresh information every time I post something new.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I just love you, Dr. Jones. You are an awesome, awesome gift to children and families all over. Now,
Thank
before I let you go, though, every guest I ask the same 5 questions. It's rapid fire. You can't think about it, just whatever comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay. Uh-oh.
You ready? What is your favorite scripture?
Proverbs 3:5.
Yes, I love that one. Okay. What do you do in your free time?
Free time, watch movies.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, I'm scared to say on this platform. Well, right now I've enjoyed Sylvie's Love and Bridgerton.
Okay. Okay. What's your biggest accomplishment?
My kids.
Yeah. Okay. And any special shout outs?
Hey, Derek. That's my husband.
Okay. Hey, call on him. Call on him. And is there a quote that you live by or an encouraging word you would like to give people today?
In these times,
Mhm.
I think the definition of love according to the Bible. We really need a lot of love, and we need to verb love, not the feeling and the emotion, but the verb to love. Love is
Uh-huh.
patient, love is kind, what
Yes.
it is, what it isn't. And then out of faith, hope, and love, the greatest is love.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. And that is a way to end an interview. It's on love because you are love personified and how you really give to the children. It really comes through. So
Thank you
I
so
just want to thank you for being here with me today, Dr. Jones. And oh, we have to do this again because I just kind
much.
of want to pick your mind on this pandemic stuff. That was just too juicy to leave back there.
And you can call me anytime. We can just talk because we both have kids and we have to do this together. But I thank you so much for having me. And you did a wonderful interview and I loved all the questions.
Oh, thank you. Blessings to you. What an awesome woman of God. Make sure you go to her website and subscribe. Okay? And now it's time to pay those bills. Let's go to break.